So, guys, let's kick things off for the roundtable of today. I'm happy to be your host of today. Next to me are Osra and Vic, guiding you through the markets. I'm excited to be joined by my lovely teammates. So, yeah, lots of things to discuss. We have the geopolitical and energy shocks. We have the commodity volatility, the macro data impact of today, which we saw BTC kind of absorbing for now. AI sector that is showing good strength with Tau, Fed, and all the other stuff. A lot of headline risk, a lot of things are happening at the moment. So yeah, I think we can discuss a lot. Let's start with Vic because you're the BTC expert. I'm really curious about your thoughts on the market right now with BTC holding its previous all-time high, which we saw has always been a really good base, or at least forming a base around that previous all-time high. We saw that in 2017, and now we're seeing the previous all-time high of 2021 holding as well. What do you think? How important is this level for you? And do you think we're gonna break it, or we're gonna have a longer bear market than we have at the moment? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Great point there with the 2021 all-time high. If we look, so this is, let me make it a little bit thicker so that you guys can see that this.
That's a thick
Yeah,
white.
we can see how it was resistance and then support, and then we tried to deviate below it during the weekend, but then we reclaimed it. So it is indeed an important level, and it's even more important the fact that it's in the middle of the range. I think if we draw a range from the bottom to the top, it's exactly at 0.5. Yeah, almost 0.5. So this
Yeah,
is why it is
beautiful.
important. I wouldn't necessarily look at it like, oh, this is the level to long or this is the level to short. But as long as we are above it, bulls are still, let's say, favored to get a breakout. As long as we are below it, bears are the ones that are in favor to get a breakdown. But for me, it's still just a range, despite everything that's happening, despite all the headline risk and all the impulsive moves that no one can predict. It's still just a range. And I made this point yesterday and today during my stream, but I'm going to make it again. Look how precisely, even after the bearish news on Saturday, we dumped and we held the point of control of the range. And look how even after the bullish news yesterday, we pumped, but we stopped at the value area high of the range. So as long as you don't get involved like between these levels and you only look to get involved at value area high, at range high, at value area low, at range low, wherever that might be for you, the chances that you get fucked by news are less. So that's my...
It's
Yeah.
beautiful how prices are pushing exactly in the perfect levels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the levels are so well respected. If you mute the noise of this weekend,
Yeah.
for example, it's just trading in a beautiful range, and the news is accelerating the price action of BTC. And I think if I grab my chart for a bit, I
Yeah,
have kind of the
if you just
same.
look at this H4 chart, you wouldn't say that we had news. Like
No,
this is
it's
like
just
a normal
expansion above a
impulsive
key level.
candle. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All the key levels are holding, and it's just a range. We keep trading the range.
Yeah, exactly. And I have something to share as well about
Yeah.
this, which is kind of my perspective on this mini bear market that we're seeing at the moment. Is if you look at the previous bear markets in 2017, when the demand of BTC was not that big as we're seeing at the moment, it was 820 days from top to bottom before we saw the new rally. The next bear market was top to bottom was 365 days, so spliced into two. And now we have like from top to bottom, maybe like historically we bottom in March, or we at least see some good prices in April and May before you have the good old sell in May and go away. So I think with all the institutional demand, with all the ETFs, and with the war news holding the lows that we're seeing at the moment, I think we're moreover like are at the end of this mini bear market instead of the beginning of this bear market. I mean, how beautiful is it that like every time it gets divided by two, all the bear markets. And now we're at 150 days, which is almost kind of the same. Usually, I'm not really a fan of like a big macro guy or a big fan of time-based capitulation. But I think in this case, we somewhere are bottomed, or at least the 60, 62K area should hold. And I think as long as we're now closing upcoming month back above the previous all-time high, it's just a swing failure pattern. I think Follis already discussed it. Like the quarterly, if we close above this level, it's just a swing failure pattern of the previous all-time high, and we can see a sustained rally back to like 86, 90K, where the monthly EMA 13 is resting. So yeah, for me, it's continuation, like it's consolidation before going higher. But I'm happy to hear other thoughts. Maybe Osra, what do you think? Is this distribution with given the volatility from the geopolitical news, or you think it's consolidation?
It depends the time frame. On high time frame, I would say consolidation. Why consolidation? Because as I said during the previous roundtables, I do believe, I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, Perry. I do believe that 60K is our bottom, unless we get worse news. It's an interesting topic that we discussed yesterday during the Twitch stream. Someone said something smart, like it's the local bottom and thing until we get like worse batch of news. Just to sum up, my idea behind 60K is the bottom is that we had and we are having risk of a global war. I don't like to say World War III, but at least a global conflict and a global economic crash with what's happening in the Middle East and what's happening to barrel prices. And this was not enough to push BTC below 60K. So once again, I don't see any reason to go lower unless, and this is the point of yesterday discussion, we get something worse. And this is either like a recession or a true escalation in the conflict, using like nuclear weapons and stuff like that. So until then, I will say the bottom might be in. We'll see what happens with the new chairman in like 50 days approximately, Kevin Walsh.
It's gonna be
The
so exciting,
interesting,
man.
yeah, but the interesting thing is that Powell said, for now, I still have no notice about when I'm supposed to leave.
No, but that's typically Trump.
The
Create chaos
Yeah, it's
around it,
typically,
and then
yeah, exactly. It's typically Trump. Exactly. But Trump is creating that situation where Powell is supposed to leave in May, so basically in a month, and he still has no notice about when to leave. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting slash exciting slash whatever you want. But yeah, the market will move for sure. Now,
yeah,
technically, and this is when I'm supposed to share my screen.
yeah,
Now, technically, so I'm quite aligned with Vic. I still think we're in a range, so there is nothing bearish or bullish. It's just a range on low time frame. HCF, I do believe we're still bearish, right? Because if you zoom out, then I think it's quite obvious that we are just in a downtrend. But if we focus on the lower time frame, then we have a clean range. We have the clean value area as well that Vic mentioned. We had a rejection twice at the value area high here. Yesterday, the news popped and the push happened from the point of control right here. So for now, it's well respected, but I'm still expecting the value area low to be tapped because the thing about value area is that if you reject from the value area high this often, then you want to revisit the low, get some liquidity, and maybe go higher. This is why I plan to cut my trades between 67, 68, and then 60, yeah, 66. At most, we'd be lucky to have it if you guys are short with me. And then I will
I'm
see
not
the
worried, man.
reaction and Yeah, I know. You were short a few days ago on ETH. I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed it. Like
Um,
it was during the weekend. It was a perfect short, to be honest, but I couldn't hold
yeah.
it during the night, and then the whole move happened during the night on Ethereum.
Happens. You'll have like other shots, but yeah, once we get to around the value area low, depending on reaction, I might switch long. Of course, if we see like more bearish headlines and more bearish price action, then I could find myself holding towards maybe I don't know, maybe 63, somewhere between 63 and
Yeah,
60K, and then that would be the best opportunity to go long again once we feel this week. So yeah,
yeah,
let's see. Of course, we have all the headlines. It's not helping with the noise, especially if you're trading very, very low time frame. The only recommendation I could give to people listening to us is actually the same as Vic said. Try to play closer to the extremities, whatever you're playing, the range or the value area. Otherwise, you might be caught in the crossfire, and you want to avoid this. So that's my take on BTC. Range bound
Yeah.
until proven otherwise.
And to add to
yeah,
this, Osbra, you also like I also said that I think this environment favors scalps because the shorter you are in a position, the less likely it is that you get fucked by news. If you are in a swing for like a few days, the risk that you get some really important news while you are in a trade are pretty high. But if you're scalping and
Yes.
staying in positions for only like a few hours, then the risk inherently becomes lower.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. Also, even a few hours. Like if you look at yesterday, the pump, it was like 5 minutes or something, and it
Yeah,
went
seven
from
minutes.
68. Yeah, 7 minutes, and it went from 68 to almost 72.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's
it's quite
difficult.
dangerous, and that's why you want to be positioned around the extremities. You reduce the risk to be stopped out,
Yeah,
hunted by the headlines drastically. So yeah, of course, less trades to take, but this is also our jobs as traders, and this is also the jobs of you guys studying to adapt and to just like get used to it, because I think as long as we still have Trump in the office, then the market will force us to adapt all the time, and if we don't, we will get punished. And I think we all experienced it
yeah. But
since 2024.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's also difficult for traders, because usually it's like they're not working throughout the week on the war, and then suddenly from Friday till Sunday they are in a war.
I
Like
mean,
they want
because there is
to
a
push all
pattern.
the
Like, if you look, like, there is a pattern, and even though I'm absolutely not into geopolitics, I mean, I'm interested, but I'm no expert, no analyst or whatever. But with Trump, it's so easy to anticipate and guess what's going to happen. If you remember, like few weeks ago, I said it here in the roundtable. I said it in my corner. Trump is framed and is going to do anything possible to get out from the Middle East, because the situation is not in his favor
no,
politically and economically. It's really bad. And following that statement, we saw him trying to say, "We won the war. The war is won. We're gonna get out very, very, very soon." He was insisting, saying very soon. And it's been like 10 days since. I remember it was during my birthday, which was on March 8th, and we are the 24th today. So it was almost like, yeah, 20 days ago. It was supposed to end very soon, and here we are. Now, like yesterday, it was probably one of the cringest thing a president of the United States has ever done to save his ass. Like, he blatantly lied to save the stock market and to save like the oil prices from going higher than it is. It's absolutely crazy. Even is a lie. Israel said, "Be careful with what Trump is saying." Iran, his enemy, said he's lying. So this guy is completely lost, and
yeah,
he's trying
yeah,
to pretend he's winning, and he's not. And this is also why yesterday I've been repeating to my audience on Twitch, I'm not like pro Iran or pro Israel or pro USA. I'm just analyzing the
pro
situation.
France.
Try, yeah, pro France, pro Europe. I'm trying to be neutral. And if you're neutral, you have nothing good to say about Trump today. Like, there is
No,
absolutely nothing you can say. Like, yesterday was crime, it was manipulation, it was illegal, and it was a desperate attempt to save like the stock market and to save the economy. It was like very, very cringe, and it was annoying because the market was going my way, it was going down, and then it just made like made
That's
it
why I
pop
don't
out
like
of
it.
nowhere. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
him.
yeah. I'll add my view here for a bit because personally, I think BTC is holding macro support at the moment, which I already said, and it's very constructive. We're making like a bunch of higher lows, and yeah, we're just waiting for like a higher time frame, higher high at the moment. So, and normally, like if price wants to break down during this headline risk, I think the Iran news, maybe boots on the ground, is going to push it one more time to 60, 62K to form like a double bottom or so. But I think we should have pushed way lower already because bears would have had all the headline risk in the world to push it down while we don't actually have any positive news coming out. I mean, last month, is there any positive news that came out? Nothing, right?
No,
Yeah,
nothing.
Trump's manipulation that the war is over and stuff, but I mean, yeah, I think we should have traded way lower already with this headline risk. And the thing is, guys, the Nasdaq and the SPX is almost coming into maybe like a 5 or 8% drop, and then I think we're at macro support as well for stocks in general, like Google, Tesla, all coming into macro support. If we drop like 6 or 8% lower, and usually crypto is always the first one to bottom. So I think we're just waiting on stocks to bottom as well, and then we can go up as first again with crypto because it always bottoms as first, and then it leads the rally again to the upside as well. So yeah, I'm just a positive guy, and usually when things get bearish, I just trade less. But now I'm willing to put my balls on the line and see that we're yeah, I think we're gonna close the monthly in the green, at least above 70 or 72K. So I'm pretty hopeful for the future, especially closing back above the previous all-time high. So yeah. Okay, guys.
Also, yes, so
Oh
something
yeah.
just to finish on this topic, like last week on Friday, Friday after the stock market closed, Trump made an announcement, and now if you connected the dots, he said Iran has 5 days to accept the
Yeah.
terms of the agreement, and it was yesterday when he said this. So Monday plus 5 days. Oh, it's magic. Friday, markets will be closed,
Yeah.
so you
Again.
can
Yeah.
once again do some fuckery
It's
and say
magic.
whatever he wants to say.
Yeah, he's
It's
always doing
absolutely
that.
magic. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is perfectly aligned. It's just coincidence, pure coincidence. So yeah, this guy is. This is why I was quite mad when I heard people say, "Ah, Trump is so smart. He's playing 4D chess." Like, no, if I can read his mind, then it's quite. You have to be quite worried about the geopolitics if a guy like me is able to read
Yeah.
like the president of the United States mind. So imagine what about Iran? What about Israel? Like what they can tell about him. That's quite bad. So yeah,
It is
be
bad
careful
for
with the
sure.
weekend.
But
Yeah, be
I
He's
careful
still
always
with the
think
doing
we're
shit
weekend.
on
gonna
Fridays or Saturdays.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I still think I'm not saying it's 4 day chess for 4D chess, but I still think in going into the midterms in November, he's going to pull out some sort of rate cuts, and like Follis stated as well in some of the roundtables, he's gonna make the economy way worse before it gets better. But for risk on assets, we're gonna see one more massive pump, in my opinion, somewhere this
Yeah.
year before the midterms. So yeah.
It's
Okay,
something
Yeah,
guys,
that
it
then
feels like
I wanna
it feels like oh sorry, Vic, go ahead, please.
No, I wanted to say that he's always giving us bearish news. The market dumps, but then he takes back what he said, and then the market pumps more than he dumped. We saw that
yeah,
in
exactly. Yeah,
last
yeah,
year when he said when we had the big dump to 70 something K from the tariffs, and then he said, "Oh, we're postponing tariffs." BTC pumped past the point where he
yeah.
dumped. Same thing happened this time. He said Iran has 48 hours. We dumped 2%, and then she says, never mind, we're giving them 5 days. BTC pumped 4%. That's double.
Yeah,
So
I mean
that's another
that's
pattern that
strength,
he's
right?
playing.
That's
Yeah,
strength
exactly.
Yeah,
as well.
you see
Yeah,
that the stock market really wants, I mean, the whole market, everything wants to go up. It really wants to go up. So if we get something good, out of this war, like peace agreement, I think the market will go way higher. And yesterday was like the right example. We get like one batch of good news, and I think like shorts we're gonna get wrecked. However, regarding what you said about the midterms, I doubt he's gonna be able to do whatever he wants unless he managed to buy Kevin Walsh, because Kevin Walsh historically has been really hawkish, really in favor of the dollar.
Yeah,
He is
crazy.
advocating for a very low inflation. He's worse than Powell. Like if you don't like Powell, you're not gonna like Kevin Walsh unless
No, but
Trump agreed with him to do something. But I think it's pointless to get like a chairman like him just to
yeah,
just to do whatever you want with him.
yeah, but it's weird, right? Like, why would he? It's his choice eventually, right? Who's becoming the next
Yeah,
Fed?
it's his choice. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
it's
exactly.
crazy because he's giving mixed signals because he wants to cut rates and then he actually points out the most hawkish Fed chairman
Yes.
after Powell.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's
I
why
don't
we
know what the
remember
plan is
we
there.
dumped when he was announced. Like the market dumped because the market was like, "What? Why this guy?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next point, because I know you've been trading gold, Osbra. I don't know if you still are
Yeah.
trading gold, but you were one of
Lately, no.
the main gold traders of Chroma. So I'm wondering what you think of like the huge up and down swings. Is it like fucking silver is down from 121 to $65, almost down
Yeah,
50% in nearly 2 months?
mm,
Like, was
which
it
is crazy.
to me, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but is this war designed for an exit liquidity pump on gold and silver, or because now
Uh,
it's basically unwinding while the war is still on? Like, what's
yeah.
happening? Can you
I
explain?
I don't think it's manipulation or conspiracy. And regarding silver, it's been trading like a shitcoin for sure. It's also something we discussed during the previous roundtables. Like I see gold with a very different eye than silver. Silver is quite different. It doesn't have the safe haven asset properties as gold, like gold has.
Okay.
Regarding gold, I will just share my screen.
Yeah, I would love that.
And I know I've been quite vocal saying it's not like the top is not in and we might have a new all-time high. We're very close. We were very close to have it.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, it was beautiful
very clean though.
technically. Yeah, very, very clean. Technically, we had a nice bearish retest here. Then you see we had mega dump from the point of control, the composite POC that we had just here. Now, the dump has nothing surprising. I got asked this question a lot. Why is gold dumping? We're having a war. It's supposed to be a safe haven. The thing is, the point with this war is the consequences are like global, and I'm just gonna repeat myself. Cash is king. Even among safe havens, you have among safe haven assets, you have like a hierarchy. Like you have like the cash, then you have the yields, and then you have the gold, right? So gold is being sold off because and this is no coincidence that if you look at the DXY chart, DXY has been also up quite a lot recently, and euro has been down because it's not the end of the dollar yet. It's not the end of USD. So USD remains the king. Right now, you have a lot of people, by the way, in Europe, a lot of analysts and economists advocating for selling euros and switching to dollars. So that says a lot. And dollar is not like gold is not like something exceptional during these conditions. It works just the same as the other assets. It's being sold for USD. Just like the stock market has been sold for USD, the Max 7 have been sold for USD. The interesting thing is that even the Max 7 are suffering. They are like dragging the market down when the rest of the stock market that is part of the S&P 500 is trying to go up, which is quite interesting when you know that the Max 7 been driving the stock market the last like 4 years. Yeah, we can say 4 years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So maybe we see another rally, but when the war is over. Anyway, I think just like you said, the end of the war is going to provide a lot of upside opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now it's going to be my favorite topic.
Let's
Gonna do
go.
some altcoins that actually do show strength, and some altcoins that do
Tao, spoiler.
spoiler alert, spoiler alert. No, there are some altcoins that are actually showing strength. I really like Tao here. I think the whole AI sector is going to outperform over the next few weeks. When I look at BTC, if like BTC holds and closes back above the previous all-time high, I think Tao, Virtual, Hype, for example, are very good coins to long. For example, we see Tao over here. Let me clean my chart. Is trying to reclaim the monthly EMA 13, which is insane to be honest, because BTC's monthly EMA 13 is trading at 86k, and Tao is already reclaiming it. So I'm keeping a close eye on this level. It's also the psychological 300 round number, which is a very pivotal level. And as we're seeing at the moment, we're reclaiming that level. And I really think Tao is a top 10 coin next to the other shit coins that are in the top 10. Like, I think it has more utility than, for example, Cardano, and it has like 3 times less market cap than Cardano, especially with the subnets. I think fundamentally Tao is one of the strongest coins at the moment, and I think if you're a spot buyer, I know a lot of the gens in here are only trading perps on 50 times leverage, but I think if you're patient and are an actual investor and you have like 20k or 25k left and not touch futures for a while, you should just buy Tao or FED, for example, and laugh at us in 2 or 3 weeks when Tao is back at like 480 or 500. You can really have some good gains to work with if you like 64% gains is what I'm expecting, back to 480, 500. So yeah, I think if you have time and you're listening to this conversation and you're a spot buyer, I think Tao is definitely your best bet next to FED, for example. This has a lot of work to do still, but I think the whole AI sector is going to reprice over the next few weeks, because usually April and May are super bullish for altcoins. So I'm expecting that history repeats. So I have a limit order for FED as well, which is one of the main AI coins that has been around for around, let's see when this product launched. We launched in 2023, so the team has been around for over 4 years, and it just touched the macro support going back to 2023. So I think Tao, FED, and Virtuals, for example, are your go-to AI coins. I think the whole decentralized exchange narrative, I don't know. I was super bullish on it, but yeah, Hyperliquid is still one of the better exchanges, and I think it will attract TradFi as well to trade on Hype on a decentralized exchange. But I don't know how much growth it still has. What do you think, Osra? Are you trading altcoins at the moment, or
Um,
like do you have any thoughts about Hyperliquid?
I'm looking at only at a few, and Tao is why I was excited about you mentioning it, because Tao is one of
So good,
the
man.
coins I had in my list. Like, yeah, for a while with Hyperliquid and Solana, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do agree, but I just have a question I wanted to ask you about Fetch. I don't know if you still follow the project and follow the team, but are they
Yeah,
still
yeah.
active? Because it's been dead for a little
No,
while.
yeah, they rebranded to Allianz something. What's it called again? They have like
Alliance
an
something. Okay.
agreement, yeah, with it's called AGIX. Yeah, it sounds really Dutch if I pronounce it like that, but I don't know how to
Ajix.
yeah, AGIX, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
It's called
Okay. Okay.
Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, and they rebranded to that, and the website has become superintelligence.io. And there's still like a 500 million market cap. Like compared to Tao, I still think this can go back to at least 1 billion market cap. But they had some really vague things going around with the whole transformation to the new Fed. So
Oh, it disconnected or is
real
it me?
world. Sorry.
Yeah, you cut off
You
for a few
lagged? Yeah,
seconds.
you had
Oh, did I
like,
lag? Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Am
Now
I
it's
back?
good. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you said I think you were saying like it's
yeah, they had
sketchy or
some.
something, vague.
Yeah,
They've been vague.
they had some fake things when the project was called Singularity Net. So they rebranded and put it under Fed. So I think now that the whole fake things are out of the way, I think Fed can reprice again. Also looking at the Fed BTC chart, I think we're starting to see some outperformance. We have to close the monthly ideally above this level, above the 3.5, something like that. So if we close above that on the monthly, I think some big moves are going to happen on Fed and yeah, also on Tau. So yeah, that's actually the only two coins I'm currently bullish on. Furthermore, I never traded high because I can't get my head around it. But yeah, also one thing I'm seeing at the moment is that Solana is showing a lot of strength. The
Yeah.
Sol BTC chart reclaimed a super important level here. Um, Let me grab the chart. I think it was this one. Yeah. So what we're seeing, this is your macro support level. We tapped into it this afternoon, and now we're holding above that key level. So I think also with
Clean.
Solana posting big week coming up, I think there's going to be some sort of ETF news. I don't know what it is. Also GTO, which is the staking mechanism of Solana, has showed great strength over the past few days. So I think there's something behind the scenes happening, but I can't get my head around it yet. But if I do know, you're the first one to know, of course. So yeah, that's it
Well, yeah,
regarding
this is
altcoins.
yeah. This is also quite my short list. Sol, Tau, and I would replace Fetch because I don't know. I've been quite disappointed by this coin. I was super bullish on Fetch the previous cycle. Well, it had a massive run, of course. It had a massive run, but I thought it would recover. It would be one of the best performers after the recovery, and in fact, it was not really the case. So I would just replace Fetch by Hyperliquid because for some reason they cannot stop deliver new stuff to their product, which is
Oh,
a good
that's true.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a very good thing. And I think they're like, if you do believe, and it's I don't know if you have a take on it, but if you do believe that the future of finance is on chain, I mean, at least the future of stock trading is on chain, then
Yeah.
Hyperliquid positioned themselves in quite a very good position to be the one
Definitely.
leading this. So
Yeah.
leading this change. So
Yeah.
yeah,
The thing is,
I don't
I don't
think you
know
can be
how.
bearish.
No, I'm definitely not bearish on hype, but I'm definitely not bearish on it. But it's more like how much can it stretch? You know, it's a top 15 coin now. Market cap is 10
Yep.
billion. You have a lot of tokens hitting the market, the open market. A lot of unlocks coming up, also for the team, which are up like huge amounts. So I don't know if if the inflation can be stopped, you know, and if they just not stall between, let's say, 38 and 42 for the foreseeable future. What I usually like on altcoins is if they are mispriced, and I just never know how to price Hyperliquid because a lot of people got the free airdrop and I don't know how to
Yeah.
price it because I don't really have an example as well how, for example, in traditional markets, an exchange is priced. You know, what's
And
the
do you
valuation?
think do you think how can I say the the unlocks and stuff can be an opportunity to get back on hype?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, high stakes capital, for example, one of the bigger holders of Hyperliquid just dumped his stash around 38.3, which I saw on chain, and Hype is already trading back at 39.2. So these huge amounts actually get absorbed by the market. So yeah, there is demand, and especially blending the whole traditional markets with the crypto markets, I think it's going to be one of the bigger exchanges, of course, especially for big whales who want to hide like who don't want to trade on like a broker that has huge fees. I think Hyperliquid is the one for them to trade assets like gold or Tesla or Google and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a good one. But usually I'm not super aware of what the price will do because it's already a top 15 coin, you know.
Yeah,
But
so
I
you
mean,
don't expect it
in a
to give
bull,
crazy returns.
no, yeah, exactly, yeah. So and especially now everyone is super bullish on hype. How much stretch is there still? I think Tau is the better one because it's still a smaller market cap. It's only a 3 billion market cap, and I think that's very mispriced for Tau, what they are building with the AI agents and with the subnets. So I think that's a way better bet. Yeah, than Hyperliquid at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, Tau was like it reached $600, $700, something like that.
Sorry?
So Tau
Yeah,
was quite high. It went to 600 or
Yeah,
700.
600, 700, yeah. And now the
Yeah.
fundamentals are way better than it used to be. I think the price eventually will follow as well. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to watch. So yeah, guys.
What's your
I
opinion on
think
ETH? I want to hear
yeah,
both of
it's
your
difficult.
lads' opinion. Yeah, it's very
Um,
difficult. Someone asked me today on Twitch what I think about it, and I had no fucking clue what to say, to be honest.
No, I think Ethereum. I can grab the chart for a bit. What I see on Ethereum here is that I think it kind of has the same channel as that we had on BTC here. Actually, this was a really good long, which I probably put in on my stream on Thursday. I didn't open the chart until then, but yeah, it's still basically in this bigger channel, which we saw the deviation above. Bulls got trapped. Probably bears shorted the breakdown over here, and bears got trapped over there. So I think as long as we hold above 2075, which is the old point of breakdown from earlier in March, I think we're seeing like some more ranging, but yeah, upwards. So I think as long as we hold 2075, I think you're good to go for higher still. It kind of has the same channel as BTC, which I placed in my corner today, where we deviated the channel highs, and now we deviated the channel lows, and now we're just waiting for the whole situation in Iran to settle and to get some guidance. I saw Citrini also post that we really need Israel to also like agree with the whole situation of like a peace deal. So I think once that's out of the way and all the three parties align, that's when you go fully risk on. And now it's just small scalps in between and hope the situation don't get worse. If you're a bull, and you want to see the situation get worse if you're a bear, of course. So
I mean, I think even bears don't want the situation to get worse for the
no,
sake of
yeah.
the world and
Yeah.
people, but yeah, I get what you mean. Something interesting that I noticed today, I was looking at ETH, like where it put its new all-time high. We know that it was barely a new all-time high. If you account for inflation, it wasn't even a new all-time high. And then I looked at ETH against the euro. It never put a new all-time high this cycle. So for
Yeah.
us Europeans, it didn't make a new all-time high.
No, because it's so inflated. I saw it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm touching on the narrative that Phobia pointed out. I think it's super interesting to read what he wrote. Is that in June we have like the World Championships of football in the States, and I think it sounds too ridiculous for words that it could be a catalyst to settle down on the war. But who wants to?
And the League of Legends Worlds as well. Just
But
saying.
that's in
Okay,
November.
super important. Yeah. Is that
Now,
a big thing? Is it
I mean, it
bigger?
is for esports, but of course, it's not
For
comparable to the
Osbra, is it a
Football
big
World
thing?
Cup.
Yeah.
The
No,
thing
it's
is that
quite a big thing.
the
Yeah.
situation with the World Cup is complicated because Iran
Yeah.
is supposed to play there,
Oh,
but
really?
of course they refuse. They are scheduled to play their matches in the US. So the World Cup is hosted by US, Canada, and Mexico. And for some reason, the way the draw worked, Iran was scheduled to play in the US, and of course they refused to play there. And they have made a request to FIFA to get their matches rescheduled in Mexico, or otherwise they withdraw. But FIFA refused that. So now people are wondering if like Phobia said, and then you also mentioned it, like, is Trump gonna go back down on the war so that Iran can play in the World Cup? Because if they don't, then that's gonna be a really bad look on him. And bear in mind, before the draw that actually took place in the US, the FIFA president awarded Trump with the FIFA Peace Prize. So it's like a Nobel Peace Prize, but from FIFA. And now to have one country not participating because the FIFA Peace Prize winner started the war, that's fucking hilarious. So yeah,
And
people were
did
saying that
Israel
maybe he
qualify?
would.
Is Israel playing as well?
I don't think so. No, Israel didn't qualify as far as I know.
No?
Or
Okay,
maybe
so
they're
we don't
playing
have
some more
tensions
Yeah, no,
between
but
Israel and Iran.
we have Iran that qualified, so, and we don't know what's going to happen with them. So there is a chance, like Phobia said, that maybe the war cools down just so that they can play in the World Cup. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's an interesting
I
theory.
want the match group USA, Israel, Iran, Venezuela. Please make it happen. No, I didn't say that.
That would be the biggest scam of the world. Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
No,
But I think it's
not
kind of
fun.
a good thing to keep a close eye on. That they want at least June to be like have a peace deal. And today I heard already. That's why I posted that in my corner. Is that they want to, like, the US talked to they phoned Iran to settle a deal. So I think that the first steps are there, and that's actually how it goes every time. Let it be tariffs, let it be a war, let it be something else. Every time you see these progress in the situation, while BTC is making like a small higher high or a higher low every time. So I think once the deal settles, we're going to see a very aggressive move upwards again. So ideally, I want to position myself before that happens, because yeah, usually when the news come out, you're already too late.
Yeah, it's
So,
either 66 or low 60s, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Also pointing out that we have the Clarity Act coming up, and I think it's coming out in April, where they set the framework finally for the whole regulations in the States, which could be a nice bullish catalyst to have. And we also have the FTX distribution in 7 days, sorry, which could be a nice catalyst to have some dry powder into the market. And also the STRC of Michael Saylor is searching for like new money to put into the market. I think I saw that today. Strategy announces new 21 billion STRC program posted yesterday. So I think we can already see him swap it into BTC over the next few weeks. It's not happening yet, but I think it will happen soon. Yeah, that actually that's not no, Scapulit posted FC Corn weekly. I thought it was a really nice weekly looking chart, but
No, just corn.
It's just corn.
So I think there are enough bullish catalysts to get us out of this range eventually. But I think it's gonna be like the perfect storm. Somewhere early April, if we close above the old all-time high, which is 69.4, I think macro guys or higher time frame swing traders will step in, and then we get like the dry powder of FTX. We get STRC that is pumping 21 billion again into the market. We get all these positive headlines, and then we get out of this range. You always need some positive catalyst mixed before we go higher. Oh, Crypto Joey thinks October bottom. You want to speak on stage, Crypto Joey? Your one and only appearance. Joey, hop on. It's going to be the first time that he's going to speak, but I don't think Crypto Joey will
I'm
speak.
expecting
Too
to
shy
hear
for that.
Sabrina Carpenter. Like, he posted so many gifs now. I want to hear like a sexy voice,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certain.
Vera
I
says-
think Joey has a good point. I don't think we have bottomed for the year, to be fair. I know, Pedro, you
No.
mentioned that you think we can pump more. I also think we can pump, but I think we will hit 50K this year.
I mean, historically, we can look at two things, The bear marks become shorter, the retraces become less deep.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking at the chart that I just pointed out, when you look at this, where's my chart? I think it's this one. Yeah. So what I just pointed out is basically first bear market, 820 days. Second bear market, 365 days. Top to bottom is where I count.
Yeah.
Now 150 days. I don't think we're that far away from bottoming.
No, but you measured
Maybe
it
one more
top to
swing failure
bottom.
pattern. Yeah, top to
Yeah, you
bottom.
measured it top to bottom. So
So we're-
now, technically, the new bottom should be at the end of April, if it halves.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like if you
Yeah.
divide it by 2 every time,
Yeah,
it should be somewhere end of April. But it can be like a small sweep, like
Yeah,
I
that would
think,
be perfect if we get
yeah.
it. But yeah.
Like every time you get these sweeps here. Same here with the FTX collapse.
Mhm.
So yeah, it could be a sweep, but yeah, history often rhymes, but it never repeats. So it could be that we have so much demand from the ETFs that we now just see that big nuke that we had already, and that is the bottom. But I'm willing to like build proper swing positions if we reach 60, 59K.
Yeah, me too.
Or
Me
60,
too.
62. And for now, it's just scalps. But I think if we close this monthly, which is the quarterly close, back above 69.5, we can say that the bottom is in. And I'm willing to put my balls on the line for that if we get that
To
close.
be honest, I don't care if the bottom is in or not. I know that if BTC is ever gonna go below 60K, I'm gonna load up my spot back. So
yeah, that's nice.
I think it's a very good buy.
Yeah, for sure. And I see some big OGs as well saying like, okay, I'm already buying, and I think you'll laugh your ass off in 2 or 3 years when Bitcoin has its new halving and it sets the standards so more difficult again of mining. That we're gonna expand again to, let's say, 250 or 300K, and people now think, oh man, that's a ridiculous stake. No, that's never gonna happen. But after every halving, we always made a new all-time high. So
Yeah.
I think if you do the math, it will become it's a scarce asset. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, and now I sound like Michael Saylor, but I think it's definitely gonna have a big impact. Also with the 401ks coming in the States. So yeah, I think it's gonna be we're gonna laugh at these prices in a few months or a few years at least. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm planning to buy. Because now, like, what, 60K, 70K, even if it just makes a new all-time high to, like, I don't know, 150K, that's still a 2x from here. So that's a really good buy.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and altcoins will have also a lot of opportunities for spot as well. I think some like if we get to that region, to that 50K region, what is going to be for the altcoin market, and some tokens will be just at very, very good discounts, and it's going to be very good opportunity to capitalize on the
Which
crazy
tokens did you
upside.
buy?
But you get my point,
Just
right?
like we said with Birdie.
If we close the quarterly above previous all-time high, you have to admit it's a swing failure pattern of the previous all-time high and a reclaim. That should be enough to push us back higher, at least to 80, 86K. And I'm not saying we have to observe from 80 or 86K what we're going to do from there. We're gonna reclaim that level again. But I think from level to level perspective, you have to admit if we close the quarterly above the 69.4 area, you have to focus on longs. But it's because it's just a swing failure pattern below the previous all-time high, which we saw in 2017, which we saw in 2022 as well. So yeah, it just happened faster though, because the bear markets are becoming shorter because of the structural demand.
Also headlines accelerate price.
Headlines acceleration. Yeah, it just need one headline in April to have this perfect storm between the FTX distribution of like 4 billion, Michael Saylor buying 21 billion again, and once all the headlines align and you have this flow of positive news headlines and you see that price is reacting upwards, same what you just said with the tariff news, like we dumped 2%, then he reverted it, and we pumped 4%. So buyers are actually in control if you just focus on the charts. So yeah, super interesting times ahead, guys. I want to thank the panel for joining me on this round table. I really love doing this. Thanks for all the members joining in. I think we're in for some good times going into April and May. Thanks all for watching, and we see you in Crypto Chat. Peace, guys.
Love you guys. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
you, guys. Thanks, Purdue, Vic. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.